Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be starting a new film study, and I'm going to be watching the films of director Aki Kaurismäki. And I've already watched a number of the films. I'm a big fan already. And I've done these film studies before. I did one on Tarkovsky, and there's a whole series of videos on those. And the way I go about this is I usually look for a source online of a place to start, even though I've already seen a few of the films. And I usually go to the BFI website, and I'm going to put a link in the description below of the article that I read to get started on Aki Kaurismäki films. And I'm essentially using that as a guide to go through the films. I'm also using this Region B set that I picked up, that I picked up a while back, this Aki Kaurismäki collection, which I believe you can still get. It's a Region B set. All the films are listed here on the back. There's a little bit of a description there too. There's a booklet in this one, and I'll start to show a little bit more of this in the videos. But there'll probably be a few of these types of videos where I'm going to talk in detail about each of the movies that I'm watching. And the first one I watched, which happens to be on the Criterion channel, is a film called Drifting Clouds from 1996. And I'm going to read this little description on the back here too. I'm going to try to keep this spoiler free if I can. So if you haven't seen any of these films, you get a chance to see them whether you have the Criterion channel or whether you have the films. There's also some Criterion releases of these films too, which I'll be showing in some later videos. But Drifting Clouds from 1996, a young couple live a modest life in Helsinki when both of them are made redundant simultaneously. This charming film takes a look at the challenges that sudden unemployment thrusts on relationships in typical Kaurismäki fashion. This is the first installment of the Finland trilogy. So there's a number of these trilogies as well, as I'm learning. So I'm learning about these films, but I'm also really enjoying them. Again, I'm already a big fan. So, and I just absolutely love this movie. I'm going to also read to you first. Typically when I watch these movies too, I'm keeping I make a lot of notes as I'm watching the movie. So it's a little bit of a different watching experience for me. Let me know too in the comments if you do this when you're watching films. But I love doing this when I start a film study, is to kind of have a notebook and to write down some things that I like about each of the films, which I'm going to be doing as I go along. But my Letterboxd review, I'm just going to read my Letterboxd review because I wrote it right after I saw the film. And if you're not following me on Letterboxd, you can find that link also in all my social links are basically in every description for the videos. But I'm just going to read this review. Poetic, simple, romantic, tragic, humorous, brilliant, hopeful. Just words. A story of hope and survival. And I also made a note here too. This is not in the review, but it seems like with these films, or at least with this film, but with some of the other films that I've already seen, nothing is happening, but everything is happening at the same time. It's one of the many things I like about these Kaurismäki films. I'm really kind of staying away from formal reviews. I'm not really reading a lot of other reviews. I really want to give you my first impressions of these movies. And so this may be a little bit all over the map when I talk about these things too. And I'm really also trying not to spoil the film. So if you haven't seen it before, you can go watch it. Again, this one's on the Criterion channel, and there's physical media available for it if you want to follow along with me. And I'm not really sure what my watch order is going to be either. Again, I'm following the BFI article, but the BFI article, once it gets past the first movie, says you can watch a number of the different films next. And so I'm going to pick one, and I'll let you know what that one is today as well. So again, this is Drifting Clouds from 1996. I love the opening of the movie. It opens with this shot of a piano, an overhead shot of a piano, and someone singing. One of the things I've seen in many of the films already is I love the music in the films, the songs. A lot of times, I think in the middle of this one too, there's a bar scene where there's a couple of songs that are sung, and of course these are all in subtitles. There's subtitles for these films. But the songs are such a great break in the movie, and I love music anyway. So. It's really amazing to see, the singing and, the songs that they pick. But this one, I just love the opening. I watched the opening over and over again. And I knew really from the first moment that I started to watch the film that I was going to love it already. And as I said before, I'm a huge fan of it. So even from the first frame, and a lot of times when I'm looking down here too, I'm looking at my notes a little bit. I knew from the first frame that I would love the movie. It opens in a restaurant. And I love the the different angles in the beginning too. There's again a shot of the piano and the person singing, which again very simple shots, not a lot of cutting away, which I like too, because it gives me a chance to really get involved in the movie and really enjoy what I'm seeing. And then they move the camera, or Aki Kaurismäki moves the camera behind the musician, so you see that they're in a restaurant, and you see the other patrons of the restaurant, which is very cool. I'm just going to read a couple of other descriptions that I have here too in my notes. A lot of focus on simplicity, deadpan expressions, which is pretty typical for a Kaurismäki film. You don't see a lot of smiling, at least in this one, but it's very enjoyable to watch. You're seeing these characters going through, many different circumstances. As I read in the description, the couple that's featured in the film are quickly unemployed and made redundant. Which is a very dramatic thing, but they seem to take it all in stride and they seem to just move on with their life. That's the thing too that I really felt with this film, is that you get the feeling like these characters in this particular story, they just keep going. Life hands them a situation and they just continue on. And I like that as a theme for the movies, because, many things happen in life. Good things happen, bad things happen, but you just have to keep going. At least that's the theme that I got from the movie. Lots of humor and romance. There's a scene in the beginning where the cook in this particular restaurant has a fit, and it seems like it's a thing that happens over and over again, and it's very humorous the way they handle the whole situation. I love the long takes. The other thing I wrote down too is many of these films, including this one, feature what is really called shyly awkward romances, which I like as well, right? The couple is typically it seems to have a very peaceful relationship, shyly awkward romances, which I thought was really good. Again, it's very sad when they lose their jobs. That's a very sad part of the story as well. I wrote also, drifting clouds, life goes on. It's a story of hope and survival, having dreams. Life is not easy. So I feel like this is something that is very relatable to a lot of people that watch movies, certainly myself included, that even though there were some tragic circumstances in the film, I've still felt hopeful at the end of it. And the ending to me, I won't give away the ending, but to me it was a happy ending. So at the end of the movie, I felt very hopeful. I really enjoy watching these films too. I feel like Kaurismäki spends a lot of time keeping the camera on a particular scene so that I really have a chance to take it all in, which I really enjoy. I'm trying to see if there's anything. I think this was even mentioned in the dialogue. A lot of the Kaurismäki dialogue is very poetic and very short and simple, which I also like. Life is short and miserable. Better enjoy it while you can. I think that's the other message from the film, and a lot of the films that I've already seen. What a great message for a film, right? Life is short and miserable. Better enjoy it while you can. So really enjoy life, even though life may hand you tragedy. Keep going. And I think, again, that's a major theme of the movie. And I've seen it in some of the other films as well, which makes me feel hopeful as I'm watching the movie. So those are my initial impressions of Drifting Clouds from 1996. Again, I've started this film study. I'm going to watch as many of the films as I can. Let me know if you're a fan of Aki Kaurismäki in the comments. Leave me a comment, ask me a question about the films. I think where I'm planning to go next, I've already seen this film before, but I'm planning to watch next Shadows in Paradise from 1986. And again, I've already seen this, but I didn't take a lot of notes on it. So I'm going to rewatch that one. I'll be referring to the Curzon set, as I mentioned before, this one here. So highly recommend this particular set. This one comes with a booklet also, and it's got, as you can see, as I showed before, all of the films, or most of the films. This one also has some extra features, a special feature, 9 short films, which I haven't seen. So I'm looking forward to watching those. So I'm really excited about this. It seems like the perfect time of year to start a film study, and this is one of already my favorite directors, having seen a number of the films before. So let me know in the comments below if you're a fan of Aki Kaurismäki, if you have a favorite film. If you could recommend another film I should watch, maybe I should change the watch order. I'm not really sure. Again, I'm making up the watch order as I go along. and referring to the BFI article, which I think was from last year, from November of 2023. But again, I'll link that in the description below so that you can refer to that if you like that. I'm really excited about this one, and I'm excited to share my thoughts with you. And if you haven't heard of this director before, too, again, highly recommend it. If you have the Criterion channel, there's a number of the films on there. There's a whole feature on there, too. I'm not sure when those are going to be gone from the channel. But thanks so much for watching this video today. I'll be making a number of these videos on this particular director. I really appreciate everyone who leaves a comment, asks a question, and participates in the channel. That really means a lot to me. I sincerely hope that everyone is safe and well, and I'll talk to you soon.